Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode one of P&K Podcast. Our host tonight and every other night will be Parker and Kyler here. Tonight we're gonna be letting Pilot lead the show for our first episode. So,
Yeah.
Pilot, take it away.
All right. Talking about some inspirational shit, some
Mhm.
mental health shit.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Number one, the
Mhm.
importance of gratitude. Number
Mhm.
two, finding your purpose.
Mhm.
Number three, balancing life. And number four,
Mhm.
overcoming genetics. Can you fucking quit doing that?
Mhm. All right. How do you want to start this off,
Okay.
man?
What are you? Do you have gratitude in your life?
So, gratitude, as in like being thankful.
No, that's being grateful.
Or
Do you have
gratitude
Do you have
is thank.
gratitude for the shitty parts of your life?
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I'm thankful for the shitty parts of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so I'm thankful that I fucking stepped in a pile of dog shit today or something. No, I'm not
Yeah.
thankful I stepped in a pile of dog shit. It pisses my morning off. It's like pissing in someone's Cheerios. I wouldn't be grateful if someone pissed in my Cheerios. I would have gratitude about that. I have gratitude about when something good happens, and when I have a decent day, I'm like, I'm happy I had a pretty decent day today. But when I have a shit day, I'm like, that sucked. I never want to do that again. You know,
Mm.
I wouldn't say um I don't have gratitude to anything because I'm thankful that I'm able to sit here and do a podcast, and look at a that I'm sitting here with a $1,200 PC on my floor at my feet. I'm thankful that I'm pretty well off. I'd say so myself. Like I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for the next month. I don't have to worry about bills for the next year, even. And or like work even. So I have a lot of gratitude for stuff like that. Um, I
My,
mean,
Mine's the total opposite. I
what
have
do you
I have gratitude for everything that's just fucking shitty in my life.
you have gratitude for the shitty parts in your life.
Yes,
Explain that to me. Break it down for me.
because I mean you've heard this 1,000 times. There is no good without the bad. And there will be the point
Yeah.
of life if you don't struggle. If you just fly through it nice and easily, you really wouldn't live a proper life. Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So you're like thankful that you have the experience of bad
Yeah.
days and bad stuff. Like, yeah, I'm grateful I've had the experience of some personal things that have went down in my life that were bad because it made me a better person coming out of it or whatnot. I'm sure you've heard that exact saying probably 100 fucking times. But I mean, I I didn't enjoy it when it was happening. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I had that experience. I guess you could say I'm grateful I had the experience of some emotional and some deeper things that has happened in my life. But stepping in a pile of dog shit, I'm not grateful about that. No, something like that. Nah, that just pisses me off. I will not have that will not benefit or change my life at all about stepping in that dog shit. I didn't step in any today, but I might tomorrow. I might 2 weeks from now. And guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna piss me off because I gotta go clean my shoes because like I have them grooves in my shoes. It gets up in there and you get a stick and like scrape it out, spray. It's fucking sucks. All right, but I mean when it comes to like personal experience, such as like my personally like my eighth through like beginning of 10th grade year, um, really rough time in my life. I'm grateful it's over and I have experience from that time of my life. And I'm happy. I hopefully will never be back in a certain state again. But
Mm.
I'm happy it's
I've
over.
I've made a theory on what gratitude is, or what gratitude, not having gratitude could lead to.
Uh huh.
Uh, so if you don't have gratitude, everything is just gonna be bleak. You're not gonna enjoy anything. Everything is just gonna be bleak, and when everything's bleak, I feel that leads to depression or just general sadness. You don't really enjoy your day without gratitude.
Okay. So you say without any gratitude of being grateful for anything, life would just be bleak.
Cause I mean, you're just
That would
gonna be
make
a Debbie
sense because like
Downer all the time.
yeah, because like bleak, is not having like experience of such things. Like not being exposed to the elements or something, right?
Yeah.
So you want to be exposed to these elements so you'll be able to handle situations properly. Because like if you're not, like let's say when you're younger, you're not exposed. Like okay, let's put this into like a metaphor or something, right? Let's say this person is born, right? Jim is born.
Yeah.
Jim has a rich family. He's homeschooled. He lives a great life. I'm sure you've seen a movie where a kid's raised up like this, and then he has to go to a public school or something, and he fucking has a terrible life. He doesn't know how to deal with it because it's virtually being like baby your whole life. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've
That's
ever
my
saying like,
point.
you gotta make
Without
that kid buff
struggling, you don't
or
you don't
something.
have
Like,
experience, and when you don't have experience, you're not prepared for fucking anything.
like, and another good example that I'm experiencing right now is so my mom's cat just had kittens, and my mom would be like trying to help him with something. Like, Mom, don't help that kitten. It has to learn. Like, what if one day
Hmm.
when we give it to somebody, it runs away and it's baby? You know, and it's got to learn things when it's older, and it will most likely die. I'm like, just let it learn its own. It's instinctual. You know, let it learn its own. Because you have to have that gratitude of I learned how to do this from a bad experience, which I have
Yeah.
plenty stories about that. Like, oh my god, everything I learn is from a bad experience. It feels like, you know, it's either a bad experience from losing or being pissed off with it not working right, you know, et cetera, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. But I know I have that experience and I'm good in that field. You know, like I'm going personally into like an electrical field for work. When I first started, dude, I was reading them notes and looking at them diagrams of like simple stuff. And I was like, what did I get myself into? I didn't know what I was looking at. It was like green, blue, black, red. I didn't know. I felt like I was back in like fucking first grade coloring on sheets. Like it made no sense to me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, my first year and a half of doing electrical, it just didn't click for some reason. It just did not click the flow of electricity. It has to make a circle because it has to like come out with your hot, right?
Hmm.
And then it has to come back with your neutral. It's just a fucking circle, is all it is. It's a really complicated circle in the AC current residential field. And I didn't realize that for fucking a year. No one told me that. I didn't realize it. But once I realized that, dude, it's everything makes sense. It's the same thing for mechanics and other jobs. Once you learn the theory of it or how to do something from bad experience or good experience, whether it clicks the first day or it clicks, you know, a year in, everything's easier from there on out. So
Yeah.
having the bad experience for me and just the rough times that I just kept. The only reason I would stay in electrical was because of my friends. I mean, we were just hanging out after school or skipping class to do this stuff. And now I'm going into a career of it because I understand it and I like it now. But, and I wouldn't like it and I wouldn't understand it if it wasn't for the bad experiences, you know?
Yeah.
And so I guess I have gratitude about all the bad experiences that I had
I mean,
with
you have to.
losing and with just failing, you know, my first 6 months to a year, you know, the first few times I tried. But now that I understand it, you can give me something I've never done before, electrical related, and with a fucking instruction sheet, like basic instructions, and with my knowledge, I'll be able to figure it out pretty fast. You know, like I'll be able to like, okay, this
Yeah.
goes here. This
You've
is
gained
obvious. I need,
perseverance
yeah,
through all those bad experiences
yeah,
because you never stop really going.
yeah. And I'm not. I mean, I'm still in college for it. You know, like this semester I'm learning PLCs, programmable logic control. I've done the stuff like the motor controls and stuff. But the programming part I've never done because I'm programming a computer to turn stuff on and off. I suck at computers, dude. I hate computers. I fucking hate. If it ain't basic like Google, Steam, Discord, I don't want to mess with it. I hate it. I hate like any programming things, and I have to learn this because it's gonna be in the best of my life. And if I don't like it, I'm in a pickle because that's what I'm doing
Yeah.
in the industrial field a lot.
I'm
You
not.
know?
I'm not gonna say I know a lot about programming, but from just literally watching YouTube about computers, it's very simple on how they actually work. So I look at it as like a car, because you know a car, there's no singular piece that works itself. Everything's working together to work on
Yeah.
one thing, and that's how I kind of see a PC.
It's kind of, I think cars are extremely, insanely unique to think about, and most people don't think a lot on it
Yeah.
because like all a car is an internal combustion engine, and that engine is just basically like an explosion every time them cylinders click.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting a few feet behind a fucking exploding engine just constantly, and then you're also traveling at 60 to 80 miles per hour. That's faster than most animals run. I mean, I personally went 140 miles per hour in a car, and the car wasn't struggling. You know, I could have went faster probably. I didn't have enough road to go faster, or I probably would have. You know,
Yeah.
and then the car. I mean, I went back down 50, 60 miles per hour and rode the rest of the way home. Turned the car off. It turned right back on that next morning. No problem. But it's just crazy to think about, and like how many different pieces there are in today's cars.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
oh my god, like, and everything that has to work or it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Your battery could be 100% good,
Yeah.
but if your starter's bad, it's not cranking. Your battery could be 100%. Your
That
battery could be
that's
bad,
that's the problem
and
of
your
everything
starter could be
working
great.
together
Yeah,
or working for
and
each other more.
it's just, that's I have basic understanding of mechanics and how cars work. I do most of the mechanical stuff in my car, but if you told me to go outside right now and check an engine swap my truck and my car, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know where to start. I would be like, "What are you talking about? Engine swap?" I mean, I'd be lost. But if you told me, "Hey, rewire your entire house, but in the next 2 weeks," that'd be like baby work, especially for how my house is designed. Like, it's just basic one switch, one light, basic
Yeah.
out. Like, I could have my whole house rewired if it was gutted in like a day. Like, I mean, my house is very simple. It's not the biggest house in the world, but like, if you told me to engine swap a car in a month, I might be able to pull that off with a lot of YouTube videos. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have the knowledge to do it. It'd be a bad experience overall. Like, I'd be banging tools on the ground, kicking shit. It'd be just bad. But
But what would you have after?
I'd have the gratitude of how to
Damn
fucking do it. I
right.
would know how to do it. And I'd be happy that I know how to do it. Like, I like learning new things, especially mechanically related. Because I'll be honest, I hate bringing vehicles to a mechanic because they are so expensive to bring to a mechanic. Like, I'll
Yeah.
never bring a vehicle to a mechanic to do an oil change. The only reason I bring my car to the dealership to get an oil change is because when I bought it, I got like 6 free oil changes. So I just bring it to the dealership in Baton Rouge or Covington or somewhere, and I just sit there, play on my phone with all the women in there, letting them change their oil. Parker, big, just sitting there in a chair, letting them change my oil in my little car, and then I drive off. It's like there's never dudes there. I'm the only motherfucker sitting in that whole
That's
room.
funny.
There'll be like 10 women in there with purposes, like versus like old women, young women, just women. And I'm just sitting there, me and Abby, we're just chilling, and then we go eat. And I got 6 free oil changes. I'm gonna use it. No, when they're up, am I gonna let them change it? No, I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
jack my car up and just do it myself. Because my car's oil, personally, changing oil is really simple, and I think everyone should probably change their own oil.
Everybody needs
Um,
to learn how to fucking change your oil.
I think everyone needs very basic car mechanics, like
Yeah.
how to change air filters, oil, check your oil, check your transmission fluid, check your coolant. Just basic understanding of how it works.
Yeah.
You don't need to know how to break down an engine. Like if you told me right now to go fucking take my head gaskets off or something, I'd be like, off YouTube.com, how to take the head gaskets off a 2005 Dodge Ram 1500. You
Yeah.
know, like my truck right now, its headlights aren't working. When I turn the headlights on, none of the lights work. I haven't figured that out yet. I haven't even looked at it. I just don't drive it at night or when it's raining right now. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't even thought about it. I think it's the switch because it's a common thing, but I haven't done any shooting or nothing. And then another cool thing that I think when it comes to cars is the difference between like car wiring and like house or plant wiring because cars are very specific. It's weird how cars are set, and there's like fucking 20. Not 20. That's exaggerated. I'm not exaggerating. Then I say that's like 5 miles of wiring in a car. There
I
are
can I
so
can't imagine what an
many
electrical car has.
wires. I would never, never work on one. I would never wire up a car. If someone told me like, "Hey, can you rewire my car?" I'd be like, "No."
Yeah.
And if you ever need your car rewired, the reason it's so expensive is because it's a pain in the ass. It is just a headache to do. You know, like I have things at work that are headaches for me to do, and I hate doing it. Like I can't think of one offhand, but like I'll be doing it, and I'll be like, "Bro, I fucking hate this." Like I don't know. There's just certain things you like over through your life you'll learn like this is just a headache. It's not hard. I know how to do it, but it's just a headache to do. I don't like doing it. I don't enjoy doing this. Like, I enjoy my job, but I don't enjoy doing this specific task that I have to do sometimes. You know?
Yeah. Sucks now, be great later.
Yeah. But and you can even be great at doing this thing you hate, but you still hate it just because it's just a headache to you. You know? You're like, I don't
Yeah.
like doing this. I can do it faster than your average person, but I still don't like doing it. But I like everything else in this trade. You know?
Mhm.
That's just something
100%.
you learn to deal with.
All right. Well, moving on from our
All
fucking
right.
15-minute rant about cars.
Gratitude.
Which one you want to do next?
I would say just work down the list. Number two.
I'm going on your list. All right. Finding your purpose in life. I
Okay.
okay.
On my list, swap 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm gonna do this one. I think finding your purpose always takes time. I do not believe anybody has found their purpose when they were a teenager or even maybe early 20s. I just cannot believe it. Sure, you
What do you
could
mean by
find
purpose? Like where you
like
want
a
to work,
purpose in
or
life
just
to enjoy. Like
if
really
that's the case,
enjoy
I don't
yourself.
have. I don't have a purpose in life. You don't have a purpose in life. I
Yeah.
don't know if some people never find their purpose in life. You know, like I don't
That's
know
my
if I
point.
agree with that. I enjoy
I
my
don't think
life
it comes
now.
early.
I enjoy my life now, but do I think like what are humans put on the planet for? There's no telling. Like why are we here? There's no telling, right? You know, the big question of the universe, of the world. What are we here for? No telling. But my personal purpose, I don't know. I just go to work, I go to school, hang out with my girlfriend, I play Xbox, watch a little bit of Netflix sometimes, and I eat and I sleep and I shit. Just same. I do the same thing every
Yeah.
week. The same handful of things. All right, and then every once in a while I go to Houston to go see my sister or something, or I go on like a little vacation, or I'll go out to eat at nice restaurants. I'll throw something random in there every other week, every other 2 weeks, But
That's why I
for a
also
purpose,
feel if people don't have a purpose, oftentimes whatever career they're chasing, they'll make their identity around it because they have no other purpose.
I I see that happen too much to
Yeah.
talk about, Like
And I'll
personally,
be honest with you.
go ahead.
I might do that just because I don't know like what else
Like I feel
to
like I do
be.
that sometimes. Like sometimes like if you look at like work me, school me, and like me now and like me when I hang out with Abby,
Hmm.
you would think it's kind of like four different people. But like me now and me at school, we're kind of the same. I mean, I talk shit to everybody in my class. 'Cause we're all fucking cool with each other, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Fat Carson. I hope I'm gonna tell Carson to listen to this podcast and skip to the time just so he can hear me fucking call him fat now. But like he's not that fat, but he's fattest one in the class, so we fucking dong him
Lucky.
for that. I have nothing against fat people. I really don't, but it's just we pick on Carson because he's fat. It's just what we
Hmm.
do. My friend Greg weighs like 105 pounds, and he picks on Greg, and he picks on Carson for being fat. And we can pick on Greg because he looks like a crackhead, which we do pick on Greg because Greg looks like he's straight from the fucking streets of Bogalusa crackhead, right?
Hmm.
But I mean, it's like four different people, you know. So I act different in all four different ways. Um, especially on here. This is probably like
Oh,
on Xbox
definitely.
or PC, Xbox, either one. I would say I'm mostly myself when we play all this versus like when I'm just with my small group of friends. I'm mostly myself. I'm myself around Abby, but
Yeah. I
like I don't know, like I avoid
I know what
certain
you mean.
topics.
You change like your humor or what
Yeah, like I'll change
what
my
to talk
humor. So I
about
won't
with
I
this
won't
certain
say
person.
certain jokes.
Yeah.
I won't say certain
You
jokes
know
because I
the
know she wouldn't
limitations of
enjoy.
that
Yeah,
person.
I know she might not enjoy that joke, right?
Hmm.
But I still say jokes. I still say like 99% of my jokes. There's that 1% I might not say, but like I know what to not talk about. Like
Right.
when it comes to me and Abby, and I think every couple should really follow this. I think it's a great rule to follow. Don't bring up politics in your relationship unless you know
Yeah.
the person has the exact same politics you. Like me and Abby agree on 99, 95, 99% of everything, right? We agree on like everything. And we don't, me and Abby never argue or nothing, but
Right.
we also never talk about politics. We'll talk about like the Ukraine and Russia war going on right now and stuff like that. We'll talk about stuff like that. When it comes to like the election, sometimes I'll speak my opinion. She'll speak hers. If it's different than mine, I'm like I respect that opinion. And we'll have like a debate or something, right? But it's not an argument. We both understand like this is this
But
person's
yeah,
opinion. I can't change it.
that's
But
a
it's
very hard
rarely.
thing to even find in everybody, including like kids my age. We cannot agree to disagree. It's just not possible. I've never
I
seen it
love
in anybody.
to agree to disagree. All
I
right,
know.
like when it
It's
comes to like
it's
like
so
as a
important to a
joke
relationship.
conversation, like earlier when we were talking about like is it gay to get pegged?
Yeah.
When we were talking about that, I'm not going to agree to disagree on that. I'm talking about this as a joke. I'm laughing as I'm talking about this. But when it comes to something more serious with a serious person or something, like if you came up to me tonight, like you called me, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and
Hmm.
you had something you to tell me, and me and you came to a point where it was like, are we gonna argue? Or are we gonna agree to disagree? I would agree to disagree. I wouldn't say it, but I'd be like, that's your opinion. I respect that, but it's not
Hmm.
mine. Blah blah blah.
Well, we're all
And I
entitled
hate
to
that
it.
people can't do that.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah,
you
like
see it
sometimes I
like
can't do it. Like
everywhere
sometimes
in
if you bring up
every
something that's
age
just
group.
personal to me, I will not do it.
Yeah. I don't
But
think it's a matter of knowledge or
um,
like wisdom by your age. I think it's just literally a human trait that fucking sucks.
yeah, 'cause, like most people, and I think everyone has points where they cannot agree to disagree. Because I
Oh
have certain
yeah,
topics that
there's
I
definitely
cannot agree to
there's
disagree on.
definitely
I'd be
opinions
like,
that you
I'm gonna
cannot
be honest with you,
agree to
Jim
disagree.
Bob. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, Jim Bob, your opinion is stupid. Like, I'm not gonna agree with you. It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I want to like beat your face in for what you just said, and it's just how I feel. You know, like there's certain topics. Like if someone came up to me and was like, age doesn't matter. My parents are 7 years
Yeah,
apart. Just because
fuck
I'm
off.
20 and this girl's 13, my parents are 7 years apart. Okay, yeah, my parents are 7 years apart, but they met when they were like 21 and 28. There's a difference than
Yeah,
20 and 13. You know, like it's a thing of maturity, not a thing of age. Like I think age matters, maturity does too. You know, like
right.
you need to be a certain age to be so mature. Like you can look at me now, 18. About I'm gonna be 19 this Friday. You look at me like this. Am I the same person when I was 16? Fuck no. Completely different person. God, dude, like I would look at just like mentally, physically, everything. Like I'm smarter than I was at 16 now. I'm less cocky than I was at 16 now, and I'm I'm in better shape than I was at 16, and like I'm a completely different mental person mentally than I was at
Yeah.
16. I had the same similarities of the same person I was, but so much has changed, right? Like that's what I think when people are like, "Well, I'm 19, she's only 16." Like, yeah, okay, 3 years,
Well,
but like the
the main
maturity
reason
between
you're like
16
that,
and 19.
the main reason you're like that is because you have to base your reality on your environment, and your environment is constantly changing. I don't care who you are. You
Hmm.
even if it's like oh, there's a fucking crumb on the ground. Your environment has changed.
You know, like you just got to look at it as like maturity. Maturity is a big thing for
Yeah,
relationships. Me and Abby started dating when we were 15 and 16. We have both matured in our relationship, and we've stayed together, and everything's great. You know, we've both, we might have been I think we were personally. I think we were, like, let's say on a number scale 1 to 10. The closer the numbers we are, the more like similar we are. I think she might have been like a 3 and I was a 6. A 7. We have like four numbers separated. We weren't as
yeah,
similar where we are now. But now after dating for over 30 years, I think we're like 5 and 6, 5 and 5. We're really similar, and we've matured together, and we've actually gotten a lot closer, obviously. But
yeah. Well, that's definitely influenced. Well, I don't want to say definitely, but there's a chance that influence on who she became and on who you became, just
exactly,
being
you
together.
know, like I have friends. I'm not gonna name names of everyone. I know I have people I know that have been a one person, person A, and then they start dating this person, and
Hmm.
yeah, and then like they'll start dating, and he's person A, and then 8 months later, he's kind of like distancing himself from his friends or something. Nice person like Jay, he's a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like opinions, how he acts, the jokes he makes, everything. The jokes he likes, and it's just everything. Like, and I've seen it happen a few times, and then I'll see the person and then break up, and he'll turn back to the person he was.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like that's how I am. Like whenever I'm with, let's say, Yorvik and Abby, I'm gonna act kind of more like I would if I was just like with Abby, but a little bit like I would just with Yorvik. I kind of find there's good in between, but I'm not just gonna pick one side. And then if I'm just with Yorvik, I'm gonna act like myself. If I'm just with Abby, I'm gonna act like myself. I'm at myself both ways, but I just know what not to say. Like let's say I like something that Yorvik doesn't like. I'm not gonna start talking about that. I know Yorvik doesn't like it. He doesn't fucking care. Let's say I like something Abby doesn't like. I'm not gonna start talking about it. She doesn't fucking care, right?
Yeah.
It's just something you don't do out of respect, and just something you don't do, man. But
Yeah. We've gone off topic again.
yeah, but I think when it comes to finding your purpose, it's coming to finding people that are similar to you and that might have the same purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. Like,
I
you want to be around people similar to you, but
I
not
think I think
something that you
I
base yourself off
disagree
of.
because
Hmm.
I'm such a fucking loner.
Well,
I think
look,
finding independence in yourself will highly influence literally everything you do.
okay, so as a what I've been through, you need to be able to be okay with being alone. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be
Oh
okay
yeah.
with being alone. You cannot think you always need somebody. You have to be okay to be alone. Whether I mean alone mentally or in a relationship or just alone physically in person by your like
Mm-hmm.
living by yourself. You have to be okay with being able to do that. Because if you're not okay with being able to do that, and something happened in your life and you are, it will fuck you up. All right, so that's like step one. But once you
Yeah.
get past that step, you got to be able to be comfortable with everyone you're around, kind of like adapting to an environment. And the reason I'm saying this is because when you're trying to find your purpose, if you're constantly just pushing people out of your life, you won't find your purpose. You'll go back to the
Yeah.
point of gratitude where you're kind of like bleak, you know, you're like depressed all the time because you're pushing people away. But if you find people similar that might have a similar purpose, you'll enjoy life more. You get what I'm saying? Because you can
Yeah.
enjoy your
I
purpose
understand what you're saying.
other people. That's what I'm trying to get at here. It was a very long running up trying to get at, but that's just like that's what I'm trying to get at
Yeah,
here.
I get
You know.
what you mean.
So we kind of did go off topic, but not exact.
Yeah.
But I think that was good rundown on finding your purpose. Because I mean, I don't have an answer for how do you find your purpose. I don't know because I don't know what my purpose is, pilot.
I don't think you could explain that to another person.
You can't.
Everybody's
But
purpose is different.
anyway, let's figure out the
Yeah.
next one.
All right. Balancing life.
That's an interesting one.
I'll be honest with you. I have nothing written down about this. I just wrote it down, and I don't know how
I
to
have
talk about
nothing
this.
written down at all. I'm pulling everything as we speak. So I think my life's pretty balanced. I go to school 4 days a week. I work 3 to 5 days a week. Usually 5 days, but some weeks like this week's been slow because I work for a contractor. So like
Hmm.
some weeks I don't work as much. And then I just have more free time on my hands, which is a good thing. So I go to school, work 5 days a week, school 4 days a week. Um, hang out with Abby usually about 2 days a week, and I have pretty decent to good diet, and I work out 4 to 6 times a week. And I mean, I still have time to talk to my friends, play PC, go hang out with friends in a week. You know, one day I usually have at least one day where I can do whatever I want. I can go hang out with York. I can go fishing. I can go hunting. I can do whatever. I can go hunting before going with Abby. Really, like fishing's an all day thing usually for me, so I just can't do that before I can hang out with Abby or
Yeah.
something. But I usually have like one free day a week where I can just sit here on my, sit on my ass and do nothing, or I can go do whatever I want. And I find my life to be pretty balanced, but you get thrown off very quick. Just like last month when I got sick, I got thrown off
Oh,
of a
I got
quote unquote
thrown off.
balanced life
I've
in
been
a
I got
day.
thrown off for these past 2 weeks just because of one fucking person.
Well, it you can be thrown off over, sorry, over like various of things, but I just think that having a good, easy balance, something that doesn't stress you out a lot. Like, I'm not that stressed of a person. I'm really not.
Hmm.
I don't see myself to be stressed, but
I will say I find I am myself when I'm in chaos. I like to find a balance in chaos. I don't know why.
all right, it's one way to say it. um,
Okay,
but
we need okay. We're at 20 minutes. We're at 28 minutes. We need to fucking all right. Overcoming genetics.
balancing life's pretty easy.
Yeah. All
Overcoming
right.
genetics, right?
Overcoming genetics is
So,
this is the hardest thing I've ever done. I've
are you talking
past
about like physically?
yes physically for the past
Okay.
3 years. I have been trying to fight my own body and just gain and gain and gain. Last year I lost all of my progress due to reasons I want to fucking say. And I'm doing it again. I'm realizing that not only having a fast metabolism, puberty, and genetics, that is just the wombo combo of being unlucky for gaining weight.
Well, puberty is usually pretty good to help you gain weight, so that's a
I
plus.
I kind of disagree.
So, genetics are a weird thing. For me, I have a very good like chest, back, and tricep genetics. Like my chest, back, tricep, and quad genetics are great. Now
Mm,
my hamstring genetics and my bicep genetics aren't that great. Like I have long, short biceps, like long, low biceps. I don't have a good peak at all. It looks like a fucking block of iron sitting on top
yeah.
of my fucking arm when I flex. And so I don't have a good peak. My calves, like I have good sized calves. They're average, you know.
Hmm.
They're not like real skinny, but they don't grow like ever. It just I feel like they've been the same size forever, you know.
Hmm.
And my hamstrings, I feel like they don't grow. Same thing with my ass. I mean, I don't really care about my ass, but I know it doesn't grow. It's like flat as fuck. But And like my traps don't grow. My shoulders, they're pretty average, but
I feel like the
and
things I grow the best are my core and my
oh, and
shoulders.
like my core, shit. The only time I've ever been able to see myself have a six pack, and barely, like I was able to see a six pack. I've been working out for almost like 3 years now, and I've only probably had a six pack in this whole 3 years of working out for about a month and a half.
Mm,
And guess how low my body fat percentage was then?
how
Below 8%, below 7-8%. It was probably
fucking hell.
towards like 6 to 8 was probably about then.
That's
And
miserable.
the reason didn't stay near that is because like, dude, I could wear small shirts and they wouldn't even be tight. Like it was, I was fucking skinny. I weighed the lowest I ever weighed while working out was I started working out at 160. I weighed 136 when I was about 7-8% body fat.
At
132,
what age?
136, 16.
I mean, you're fucking killing it in my eyes.
And I mean, yeah, I looked athletic. I looked small in t-shirts because I was so ripped, but like sure, I looked athletic and I was a good size, but I had a better slate than you. You know, I was fed, I
Mm.
was fed a better slate. You know, I started at a 160. I had a little bit of muscle built under there. I was nice. I was pudgy and stuff. I was like a skinny fat look, right? And my family genetics when it comes to our fat is stupid. All of my fat goes to my stomach, love handles, and like legs. All of it.
Right.
Like 90% of it. Like 90% of it. Like I could have I could lose all of my muscle. I mean all of my fat in my legs, or like my arms, chest, back, face, neck before I even start on my like quads and my core. It's crazy how it works, you know?
Like, don't
And
get me wrong. I love my genetics. I love fucking Viking genetics because if I could reach my potential, I mean, I would look fucking great. But it's just reaching it is the hardest thing I've ever done.
like
I don't think fighting. I don't think people really understand fighting your own body to gain weight.
yeah, like
It's not a very
not as a
common earned
common.
thing.
Yeah,
The
it's
most
usually a
common
more
earned thing
common
is
thing is
losing
losing
weight.
it.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because you can't really blame genetics on why you lose weight so slowly. Does it play a small part? Yes, but it really falls into a
But I feel
calorie
like
deficit.
there's so many ways to lose weight, and there's only a few select ways you can gain.
You're right on
You
that.
can't
You know,
really reach around to gain. You have to do, what everybody has done before you.
yeah. So for me, if whenever you do get a gym membership pilot,
No,
you're gonna notice a
I don't plan on
quick difference. And the reason I say this is because I know plenty of people who do say it for me.
calisthenics.
Calisthenics. Thank you. Sorry, I was getting like tongue twisted there. Calisthenics that also weightlift. They do small weightlifting, and the reason they do it is so they continue looking good, and it gave them a good jump because this thing called quote unquote newbie gains, and I've experienced it. Everyone I know experienced it that started working out.
Mm.
Now, fast metabolism people don't experience it as well. They kind of stay pretty lean when they do it, but it's different for everybody. But newbie gains is just like shocking the muscle, and your muscle builds fat back faster. And then once you might gain like 8-10 pounds of muscle versus like let's say in a year process of working out, me and you, we do the same workout, it's the same plan, right, for a year straight, and you just started working out, and this is my fourth year working out. I might gain 2 pounds of muscle, you might gain 10 or 12 because you're new to it. Your muscles are new, they're smaller,
Yeah.
they're virgin muscles or whatever you want to call them. They're not used to being worked out on the strict schedule and
I
eating this strict
I like
diet
to think about that as like
365 days a year.
it's a little explosion of energy at the start, and then that
Exactly.
explosion slowly just starts getting slower and slower. It doesn't stop,
So
but it gets
a
slower.
lot of people I see, they'll start working out
Mm.
and they'll get their newbie gains. They'll freaking get, good size in a few months, and then they'll just give up. I'm like, I don't see enough progress. I'm like, yeah, because you had your newbie gains, and now you're in the stage I'm in. I've been in
Yeah,
this stage for
now
like
you're
a year and a half.
expecting way too much.
I've been in this stage for a year and a half, and I just
Yeah.
fucking, I get all got taken away from me in 14 days from being sick. I lost 30 pounds. I was talking to a physical trainer today, and me and one of my buds were talking about it. She was here, us talking. She was like, "Yeah, I lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks one time," and that's excessive, but it was mainly fat. She just did like a
Mm.
very excessive like water weight loss, right? And I was like, well, I've lost 30 in 2 weeks. And she was like, that means you lost muscle mass. I was like, yeah, I was sick as a dog.
Yeah.
Like I was bedridden. And I mean, like, it's not good to lose that. And it's hard for me. It's hard. I really hate it because I spent, personally, I spent probably about 6 or 7 months of my life checking a scale, just trying to get above 200 pounds. And then when I got it, I spent another 2 or 3 months trying to get my body to level out at 200 pounds because I wanted to be able to wake up and see 200 on the scale. And for months, I was waking up and just seeing 198, 199, but I'd go to sleep at 20, 201, 200.8 or something, right? I was finally waking up at like 201 point something, 202, and I felt like I was the biggest I've ever been. I looked good. I felt good. I was happy. But I was wearing large shirts that were fitting a lot better. I could wear extra large shirts. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm, you know, actually doing good for my big 3 years in the gym. Well, fucking, I don't feel like that anymore. I'm wearing a shirt currently that was like really tight on me in January, and there's a lot of loose spots in it now, and it is stretched out. So when I was 185, was this shirt tight on me a year ago? Yeah, but it's not tight on me anymore at 180, 185 because it's stretched from what I was. So I'll know when I'm back to what I was because my shirts be fitting different. So it's gonna be, and when you do lose muscle fast, you do gain it back faster. So I know that I'm gaining my muscle back faster than I know someone would, and like someone would that they're gaining muscle in their third year in the gym because of like muscle memory.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the exact scientific term is for this thing I'm thinking of, but I've had it explained to me, like drawn out to me. Whenever you work out, your muscle does have memory and it can build back faster. So my muscle's building back faster than it would for you if you were third year in the gym and just kept working out. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm not going to be any bigger than I was. I'm just going to get back to how it was and I'm going to be hitting the same thing. I just lost 2 or 3 months worth of progress that I could have added onto that. So instead of being 202, almost 10 right now, about to start a cut, like that was my plan. Like I was going to start a cut like around this time. And I was going to be running about 210, 212,
That's a
and I was going
hell
to
of a
cut to
cut.
190s, and I was going to cut from 210, 212 to 190 something.
Yeah.
Well, I weigh 180 right now because of being sick. So I'm not cutting probably another fucking year now. So that blew my plan just out of the water, gone.
Yeah.
So,
Very well.
but my genetics are good in like my chest and stuff, and people always like think it's a great thing. It's a good thing because I don't have to worry about my chest genetics. A lot of people struggle with the chest genetics thing and like the chest don't grow. My chest,
Oh, dude, you got some biddies.
I got some big ass tits, and it's a good thing but a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
I can
if
understand why that'd be fucking
if
annoying.
I'm wearing an awkward shirt, it just looks like I have man tits.
Yeah.
Like if I'm wearing an awkward shirt that has like really big fucking sleeves,
Yeah.
a tighter waist, and like a weird fitting, it just has a weird fit. I just look like I have man titties. Now if I'm wearing a shirt where I like, it looks pretty athletic, I look good. But and another thing about my build, I have a lot of things I hate about my build, my genetics too, and I don't really know how to overcome them. I just have to like deal with them. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I mean, I know how I can deal with this, but and I've been dealing with it. I've been getting different size jeans. I wear 30 32s, 30-inch waist, 32-inch legs,
That's that's good.
and my thighs are too big for a 30-inch waist, so I have to order like 34 32s. 30 32 32s are still pretty tight,
What were those pants called that fucking hippies used to wear? Where
like
it's like
skinny
really,
jeans.
yeah, no, it's like really tight at the waist, and then the legs kind of like flare out.
I
I
know
forget.
exactly what you're talking about.
I don't
Abby has a
remember.
pair. I can't remember what they're called,
Yeah,
but my legs don't really
you need to
flare
get
out,
yourself
but
some of those.
I need it loose at the waist. I need it for my legs. My calves usually fit fine. My ankles, my waist, but then my thighs are just booking. Like I hate putting stuff in. I hate wearing jeans, like khakis, because I can't push it in my pockets without you being able to see that whole fucking outline,
Mm.
and it sucks. But like skinnier people, or people with smaller legs, they're like, oh, my leg genetics. Like I don't fucking care. Do you think a bitch looks at you and is like, man, that guy has small legs. I don't want to date him. I'm like, no, they do
Oh, dude,
not care. I don't see.
I hate working on my legs so
Oh,
much.
I used to love leg day. Leg day, I wouldn't mind it. I would never skip it. I'd never even think, oh my god, it's leg day. And then my knee got really
Dude, if
fucked, and I
yeah,
can't squat anymore.
if I wasn't born, I don't think I was born. I just don't think I have enough ligament in my left knee in order to really work it out. Cause
I have plica.
my knee will just slide out of place every now and then.
Yeah, I have plica in my right knee. and you can look it up on it. You basically have like this membrane around your fucking knee, and mine's like folded under it, and my fucking folded itself, and it's fucking uncomfortable and painful, especially when it comes like to squat. And then when I put weight on top of that, it makes it 10 times
Oh,
worse.
dude, I hate it.
And
'Cause if it
I
just
used
feels
to
like
just
it's
bear
gonna
with
go
it.
pop in the end, dude, that's my worst fear.
Yeah, I used to bear with it. I'd go like, let's say it pops at 10, like, like halfway depth or something, like a little below halfway depth. I'd go to halfway and I just go back up.
Hmm.
Well, one day it was hurting really bad, and I was doing front squats, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna let it pop. And usually it's a little like pop, pop. You'd be able to hear it if you're standing next to me. It just fucking wow. And ever since then, my knees been fucked. Like everyone could hear it in the gym. I
Like a
limped in my
gunshot.
manager's office. It wasn't as loud as a gunshot, but it was fucking.
Oh
Everyone
my.
in the gym could hear it. I went to manager's office, and like if you when I move my knee, you put your fingers in a certain spot, you can feel my
Oh yeah.
fucking plica like moving over my knee. It's disgusting, and you can feel the pop happening, like popping in and out. It's uncomfortable. It's painful,
Right.
and I don't like and that's what's made me not like leg day because I hate squatting. I just like squats.
See,
I
I
mean,
don't
it's just,
mind doing like my calves at all.
I hate
I
leg
don't
day now.
mind. It's just anything to do with my knees. I just fucking hate it. It's
But
so uncomfortable.
the only way to overcome your genetics is just to fight them, fight them, and fight them.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can really overcome. But I mean, what I mean by that is you're gonna grow at a weird pace. Like if you have good genetics in your chest, like I do, but bad genetics in your chest is gonna get big, your traps gonna remain small
Hmm.
for 5 years. And then whenever your traps get big enough, they'll look good. They'll average out because your chest is gonna hit a peak point. It's gonna stop. You know, like, it's not gonna get much bigger. Like my chest is not gonna get much bigger. If it did, I'd never work out my chest. My chest like, started getting bigger again. I just wouldn't work out my chest. It's too big now. It'd be way too big if I started working out my chest again. Like if it, I mean, I do work out my chest, but if like it started getting bigger, I just stopped working it out. I would
I've gotta
probably
slow
skip it
down
like
on my core.
once
I
a
don't
week.
want a pack. Like I don't want a six pack at all. It's just not. I don't like the
What?
look of it.
Uh, I don't mind having one. I haven't had one in a while. I don't mind the look of not having one. It's never really bothered me. I could see like so when I got sick and my body fat percentage dropped like 4%. I could
Yeah.
see my ribs. I could see bones, but I couldn't see my six pack. My just the genetics for it sucks.
Yeah.
But like whenever I did have a six pack, you can ask Levi and them. I had the the fucking hardest six pack workout I've ever seen in my life. Like it took you like 30 minutes to do it, and that's a fucking lot for a core workout.
Mm.
And dude, like if you didn't regularly work out your core, right? And you did that workout, you wouldn't be able to work out your core for like a week and a half. It'd be so sore,
Right.
you know. And I was only doing it like once every week, and dude, it was deadly. Like it sucked. I wouldn't have the energy to
Yeah.
do it now. There's no way I would do it now. Like I was like I've had the six pack, and there's just no point in it. There's not. I don't see a point in it, especially with my genetics. I just having to lose all that body fat percentage. It was too much of a workout for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Uh,
I just
let's wrap this up. We're at 43 minutes.
to overcome your genetics, you
It.
just gotta work really hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna
It
be
is
awkward,
by
but
far
it
the
will
hardest
pay
thing
off.
I've ever done.
It's very hard. It is hard. Like I don't even try sometimes. Like I'm just like I'm satisfied with where I'm at. I don't
Yeah.
think my biceps will look much better than they do right now for the rest of my life. I work them out hard as hell every time I go work out. I even think I have a small tear in my left bicep because it's different than it's really different than my right, and it gets way more sore. I'm pretty sure I have a tear in my left bicep that I had got probably like a year or two ago, but there's nothing I can do about it now. It's not like a bad tear where you've seen the videos and the fucking biceps contract. No, it's just a small tear, but it's not surgical worthy, and it's just awkward. But it's just something you gotta live with and fight for the rest of your life. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to try to, you can go for it. Most people don't succeed when they try to. They do, but they don't. Like they won't succeed enough. They'll be like, "This is what I want," but they will never get there. They'll start working
Yeah.
towards it. But they'll give up because
Yeah.
it's not what they were
This is
expecting
fine
it to
enough
be.
here.
Yeah. So and I've been in that situation. So,
All
but
right.
yeah, I
Well,
think we should wrap this up. Call it a night. Nice little podcast. We can think of how we're gonna draw this up. But
I have no fucking clue how I'm gonna even draw like artwork for this.
it's
I might
life.
just put like gratitude.
All right. Well, that was a good one. We can go
Yeah.
ahead and close it
All
off
right.
now, I guess.
Fuck off. See you later.